The defendant and I, we were best friends. We started dating about 6 months ago.
This was like a rebound type thing.
His mother she came at me, she attacked me.
I never touched you, Christine.
Stop it. When I say stop, you stop. This is a court. This isn't my old show.
Was just out of surgery. I couldn't even stand up. I was fighting for my life.
Sir, this is a blatant example of systematic racism, especially in the South.
Plaintiff Christine Keough says she wound up dating her best friend. But when the relationship blew up, she claims the defendant sent his mom over to beat her up. Defendant Peterson says the relationship was never that serious, and that the plaintiff is just upset that he doesn't want to be with her.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
This is case number 172 on the docket, Keough versus Peterson.
Okay. We have the plaintiff, Ms. Keough, and you are suing the defendant, Mr. Peterson, your ex-boyfriend, for $5,000 for miscellaneous expenses due to living together.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi.
The defendant and I, we were best friends for over 5 years. We started dating about 6 months ago, moved into an apartment, and within about 30 days, his mother tried to beat me up, and they kicked me out of that apartment, so I'm suing for $5,000.
You said you've known him for 5 years.
Yes.
And then you suddenly decided that you would make it a romantic relationship and live together?
I was on a rebound from my ex-wife. I recently just left my ex-wife.
Yes.
And this was like a rebound type thing. And then she ended up moving into my parents' house for 3 months, rent-free. And then I ended up getting an apartment.
Who signed the lease on this apartment?
There was no lease.
There was no lease.
I previously lived at the building, and I was a good tenant for 2 years, so
Yes.
the landlord had me back.
And then he promised that when we moved in together, that if something did happen, then I would get this apartment. He promised up and down, side to side, multiple times, that if something happened with our relationship, then he would move, and I would get to keep the apartment. I turned the cable on, I turned the electric on, I got groceries, I did everything. When we moved in together.
You didn't have money to move in.
That's not true.
You both moved in together, but neither of you signed a lease.
Nope.
No, sir.
I mean, legally, neither one of you has more rights to the apartment than the other.
Yes.
So it's just, okay. So you both moved in.
So we moved in the beginning of April, and then on May 25th, we broke up a week before this whole thing happened.
I broke up with her 7 times in a month.
What was the rent?
$600.
Who paid the rent?
Well, we split it.
You split it?
Yes.
So the first bill from the apartment was for the rent and the deposit, and how much was that?
It was
$1,200. She doesn't know because she didn't pay it.
She gave you no money at any time. I mean, one of you is not telling the truth here, right?
Correct.
But no one's giving me any proof. You come to court, have evidence.
I didn't come prepared because I didn't do anything wrong.
We broke up, and then a week later, at 6 in the morning, he told me that I needed to be out that day. I was not welcome here anymore.
We've been together 6 months, and you want $5 grand from me?
And
What do you
also,
have to
she
say?
came in and she came into my house and
All right,
tried
hold
to
on,
fight me.
hold on.
These two are friends, got romantically involved.
And you are his mother.
I am. And I let this chick move into my home.
She's not a chick, she's a
All right.
woman.
She was a complete slob. They move in together. The first month she doesn't have the rent. I think she had like $180
She
or
has no
something. I'm not
idea.
even sure.
She
I
has
paid
no
the second
idea.
month's
She
rent.
has a lot of ideas, my mother.
You're so funny.
And-
She
Okay.
has no
So
idea.
finally,
But you two made the decision. So, Mom, you're a loving mother, but if two adults decide to live in an apartment, truthfully, it's not your issue. For you to go over there and tell her to leave, it's not your apartment. Right now, it's the plaintiff and the defendant, and what, you're her sister? What do you add to this?
So what I add to this was I was actually on the telephone. My sister and I are very close. And I got a phone call the morning of the day that this all happened saying that Stephen and his mother came over, and I agree with you wholeheartedly that this issue is between my sister and Stephen. It has nothing to do with his mother.
What happened when Mom came
when
over?
I went over there, Christine and I get into it.
I think she banged on the door, tried to unlock it with her key, and then finally she said, "Can I just get Stephen's laptop?" So I let her in, and she walked in the living room, and she just started verbally abusing me. And then finally she left, And then I went to work that night at 7 o'clock or so. He called me, said, all the locks are gonna be changed, all your stuff's gonna be outside. I went back to my apartment, I called the cops on the way, because I just didn't know what to expect. The cops told us that neither of us had to leave because we both lived there. And then his mother showed up, and then his mother she came at me, she attacked me, she grabbed my shoulders like this. And I stood there and I said, Stephen, please get your mother off of me. It took about 3 minutes for her to get her off of me.
Yes,
she said,
I was lunging at you, and it took two people to hold me back, but I never touched you.
She said, oh, that you never touched me. It took two people to hold you back. All right, well, here I have a bruise and a scratch from her from that night.
Oh, my, Christine.
You were in the house and you lunged at her. What are you doing lunging at her?
Because she's so invasive and so indignant that this is her home.
Okay.
Because it was.
Okay.
Because it was my home.
Yeah.
All my stuff was there. That was my home.
Oh, my God, poor Christine.
Hey, stop it.
Like I'm 12.
Pitiful.
That was the worst part of it, was just his mother getting involved. Like, it could have just been handled between the two
We're here
of
for
us.
$5,000, correct?
Part of her suit is for mental anguish. And I'm not saying I'm ruling one way or the other just yet. So you're suing for, first you say $750 in rent. You said you paid $250 to have the electricity turned on.
Yep.
Was that your half, or was that the
That was
total?
the whole thing.
And then the $43.80 for
Deposit.
cable.
You get it back.
So that gets to be about $750. That's where that figure comes from. She also says she paid $220 for your April car insurance.
That she did do.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. I don't need to know the reason she
Why would I
did.
beg to pay your car insurance?
The $353 for groceries, I'm going to be dismissing that part. And the reason is, when a couple lives together, I don't think you have to save the receipt on the theory that one day you may be breaking up and who bought those potatoes and who bought the corn. That's the cost of romance, vegetables. Okay. Now, in your statement here, you said Stephen then knocked on the door and asked if he could come in to grab something. I opened the door, and he had a gallon of milk, and he poured it all over my duvet comforter. So you're suing for $200 for that. There is the comforter.
This is the duvet cover. The comforter I had to get rid of because it was destroyed by milk.
I'm pretty sure I paid for that.
Here's the deal. I don't.
I give
Okay.
you cash,
Sir,
so you get the
sir,
receipt.
Stop it. When I say stop, you stop. This is a court. This isn't my old show. Okay? Now, here's the deal. You probably, if you look at the whole situation of coming in there and the milk didn't just spill, you did it as in a moment of anger.
And then his mother said, oh no, are you going to
Okay.
cry over spilled milk?
Well, she's crying and she's got a lawsuit
Jerry,
against you.
What
Yeah?
I knew was going to happen is that she was going to call the cops again, and that's exactly what happened.
I had to
They
crawl out of
came.
my bedroom window to call the cops
The
because
cops
I
laugh
couldn't
at
go
this
out
situation.
into
They
the living
ended up
room.
telling her to shut up and be quiet.
I was on the phone for almost the entirety of this whole situation
Okay.
that day.
What
So
did
I
you hear?
actually told my sister when she came home and the locks were changed, I said, call the police, have a paper trail. So she called the police, and then Stephen ended up leaving. And then the police were called a second time. She was literally in fear of her well-being. I mean, I was terrified for her.
There's 3 of them against me, and like I don't have
Okay.
anyone
Your Honor.
close.
All right, so I've heard enough from both sides. I understand how you both feel. You sued for $5,000. I do believe you're entitled to the $200 for the duvet. You get the $220 back for the car insurance because obviously it's his car. You paid the insurance. You're entitled to that back, even if you two never fought. So that's $450, which leaves me only to the issue of the mental anguish. For you to bring your mom into this and to have a mom come into a household that technically is equally rented by both of you, and to start lunging at her, threaten her, get out by 6 o'clock. She was scared. That's what a threat is. Scared enough to call the police, scared enough to go out the window. Based on that, I'm going to give you $1,000 for that. So the judgment will be in favor of the plaintiff in the sum of $1,450.
I just never want to ever see you again. Please.
Oh, yes, his mother stepped in because I was having him
she was like
in
a-
and out
hold
of
on.
my house constantly, having him live there when he has a friggin' apartment.
So
and she
she
lived in
got
my
her
house
way,
for
so-
3 months, complete slob. I wouldn't do her laundry. You'll do his, but not mine. She's 29 years old.
Plaintiff Christine Wasko just wanted to keep her son cool while he recovered from spinal surgery, but wound up getting conned out of $850. Defendant Victor Reed says he did exactly what the plaintiff paid him to do and doesn't owe her anything.
Please raise your right hands. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Najee.
Got case number 75 on the docket, Wasko versus Reed.
We have here the plaintiff, Ms. Wasko, and you are suing Mr. Reed for $850 for the reimbursement of an air conditioning unit. And you are, sir?
I'm her son, Coy Myers.
Okay, nice to have you both here. Now, what's going on?
Judge, I'm here to get my money back that was stolen from this con man. He literally came.
Con man?
Go
For
ahead.
real?
Came. He talked to me on the phone. If you've ever been in Texas in August, it's like 115 degrees.
Yes.
And a girlfriend of mine had located Mr. Reed.
Here come the con.
I called Mr. Reed. He sounded knowledgeable, just like my girlfriend had said. And he was willing to come out on the weekend. I get over there. He brought this unit. He took the old one. He put this other unit there.
So he
told
put a
me it was
new,
great.
a new air conditioning unit in,
A refurbished unit.
a refurbished unit.
With 3-year warranty on it. And then when he went to flip on the breakers, he says, oh, your whole panel box needs replaced. My unit's good. You need to get somebody to replace your panel box. And I said, you guarantee the unit's good? Yes, ma'am, I do. It's never worked. We did exactly what he said. We put additional money out, had other panels put in.
So it never produced air conditioning?
Never.
Nice.
It
Okay.
never even worked. He said, I'll come right back.
He gave us a 3-year warranty. It's never worked for 3 seconds.
Right now, what we're trying to decide, and I'm going to hear from you now, but is whether the air conditioning unit that he put in with the 3-year warranty, you're saying it never worked once?
turned on,
Okay.
never worked.
What do you say about that,
Sir,
sir?
this is a blatant example of systematic racism that a black contractor has to go through, especially in the South. This woman called me on a Sunday, a mercy call.
It wasn't.
I was advertising a used unit.
Yes.
She called me. So I get there. The unit was good. All right? I installed it, but this is.
You did install a new
Yes, sir. I
unit.
installed it. The panel was bad, the electrical panel. This is the first example. I told him I also do electrical panels. For some reason, he has this friend.
Your Honor, he did not.
He has this friend that can fix anything. Okay? So I say, well, get it fixed. He knew it was working. It was cooling it.
It never
now,
worked.
my unit's working.
Yeah, an electrical.
He's seen it working. Yeah.
I did not see it working. It
He
never
said
worked.
he was on side of the house the whole time, man. You one of those customers that stay on people back the whole time, dude.
I couldn't walk.
Yeah.
I just had
these
surgery. I was
people,
fighting
man, and
for
I
my
knew they was
life.
gonna, I knew
couldn't
they was
even
gonna
walk.
do that.
When he put the unit in, you just said it's working,
Yeah.
and it was cooling him.
Yeah.
And you're saying it
Never.
wasn't
that was
working?
a lie.
No,
that was
sir.
a
That
blunt
here comes the lie.
You're saying it worked when you first turned it on. You're saying it didn't. What evidence are you going to show me now about that?
So he came in and he installed the AC, and at the end he says it's not working because you need to replace your electric panel.
So your electrician came over to fix it.
Done
Yes.
exactly what he said. I've already given you the evidence
tampered
that
with my
shows.
unit.
No, never touched the unit, just the electrical box. You have the evidence there of exactly what he told me to purchase. I purchased that. He done it. Nobody ever touched the unit.
You say that this electrical guy touched the unit.
I installed the unit, and the unit kept breaking the breaker. So when I came and diagnosed it, because I do electrical work too.
Yes.
And I diagnosed it, I said, man, you need a box.
After he installed the electrical unit, he came in and said, it's not working because you need to change your electrical panel. You need a new electrical panel. He said, and when you get the electrical panel replaced, you can turn on the panel and the AC will work. He said, it will work, I promise you. He goes, I only live 15 minutes away. I'll come back and set everything up.
And I came back.
I'm still talking.
And when I came back, what did I tell you I observed? The unit's been
let them finish.
Then after we did get an electrician to come put the panel in. Once he put the electrical panel in, we flipped it on, we tried to turn the AC. It sounded like an old junk car. The AC would not run at all. It's never ran. Like after I had spine surgery, I had a leak on my spine and the water was going to my brain. I literally could not stand up.
His sickness don't have nothing to do with air conditioning.
Well,
I mean, we can really, a
He
real
said I was
businessman will
running
tell you
around.
that.
Either the unit while you were there did turn on, or while you were there it didn't turn on. They're saying it didn't. You're saying it did. One of you is not telling the truth.
Judge Jerry, what I feel, and I've been doing this for 23 years, man.
I don't doubt your
But-
experience.
But what I'm saying is, it's a third party done got involved. He said he was gonna get it done on a Monday. This man called me
Okay.
three weeks later.
You have said that while you were there in the beginning, it did turn on.
Yeah, he heard it, didn't he?
Okay.
He just said it.
After we replaced the panel, when they turned the AC, like nothing came on. Like it sounded like a junk car. Like it was not running. It was not producing any cool air.
The motor was on, but it wasn't producing any cold
wasn't
air.
running.
That's what an air conditioner should do.
That's where the manipulation.
that much I
That's
know.
where the manipulations come in. I got an impeccable record.
Yeah.
And I'm not
yeah.
gonna let these people destroy it. Not gonna happen.
No.
I have a lot of things. First, on the impeccable record, I'd like to show some evidence. His previous customers. This is.
And the racist.
You are racist. But it has a lot to do with it, sir.
Hang on,
He
the
probably
judge,
has
It
more
has a
white
lot to
friends
do
than
the
with
I
judge
do.
is speaking now.
All right. Here are some reviews from your.
Go right ahead, sir.
One says, shows no respect to others. How his business has lasted long is beyond me, and he is racist. Another person.
Saying that I'm racist. Is that what she said? Or
Yes.
him or whoever?
Yeah. Racist trash would never make a dime off me. That's someone else. He is racist and he steals money, as previous comments say. This person, this guy Victor stole my money. He scammed me. You have to report it.
Seven complaints over 23 years.
No, that was just a page that we
See,
printed.
that's
That
what I'm
was
saying.
one page.
7 complaints
All right,
over 23
okay,
years.
all right.
Sir,
All right,
that's
all right,
part
that
of the
just
judge
has
is
to do.
speaking now.
Yeah, it's part of business.
In this case, obviously, the air conditioning is not working. It's not working. Why would they bother coming here if the air conditioning's working? How much you were responsible for it not working is another question, but it's not working, and they paid $850 to you to get it fixed, and then you paid other money for the other stuff, which you probably need anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to make them pay the other stuff that you're going to need anyway, but the $850 you are entitled to get back because you didn't get what you paid for. I find for the plaintiff $850.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Trash, man.
Remain at the stand.
You can't scare off the black contractor. I'm gonna be here. Trust me. That's why I'm here.
You're here because you ripped us
No, I'm
off.
gonna stop letting y'all people
You're here
do that
because
to
you're
my
a crook
people.
and a liar.
I'm gonna let
Going
y'all
back
people
and
stop
forth.
doing that to my people, man.
Everything that was said in there was just such a lie. I'm just glad that justice was here.
Cause at the end of the day, this man lied about everything.